Simon Sendoff, and it's actually inspired by a true story. So I would say I'm also a photographer and videographer. I love anything storytelling in the media world. So that's kind of the world I've been immersing myself in lately. So yeah. If you want to know more, I'm probably missing the most important thing, but I'm also a wife, if that matters.
Nisi Lexi, unleash the power of your creativity. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nisi Lexi as we go live virtually around the world to bring you the best of the talent, entrepreneurs, and business owners from around the globe. Today, I have with me the beautiful, the gorgeous Nyamal Malual Ruot. She is a South Sudanese American, an author, an entrepreneur, and also the founder of her very own photography business based in USA. She's recently launched her first book called Simon Sent Off. This is a story about a family sacrificing in pursuit of education. She will explain more in detail shortly in this interview. I'm super thrilled to have her with us here today. For the first time ever, please welcome Nyamal with us. How are you doing, Nyamal?
I am doing good. Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here. And thank you so much for providing the platform. So it is a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. We're very honored to have you as well. So welcome to our Canadian audience, as well as the audience from around the globe. We wanted to know from your own word, who is Nyamal? If you can describe yourself.
Oh, that's such a good question. So I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, and I'm a sister. So, and most recently, I'm a writer. So I just published this book. It's called Simon Sendoff, and it's actually inspired by a true story. So I would say I'm also a photographer and videographer. I love anything storytelling in the media world. So that's kind of the world I've been immersing myself in lately. So yeah, if you want to know more, I'm probably missing the most important thing, but I'm also a wife, if that matters.
That's amazing. Well, congrats.
That's me.
Amazing. I feel like you wear so many hats and, being a creative person, being a mom, being a sister, this takes a lot of efforts and a lot of energy. And I know you're doing it all. One thing I wanted to kind of focus today, mainly on your book and also your business, how you be able to manage both of them. So before we start, I want to know what inspired you to actually write your book, Simon Sent Off. It's a very powerful title as well.
Yeah, thank you. So this book is inspired by my brother's story. I have my oldest brother, actually. I think it's very relatable in terms of like South Sudanese and our story. So he was sent to school when I was only 11 months. So I never really known him. And then I didn't meet him until 2005 when he sponsored our family to join him in United States. So all my life, I only have known like, oh, you have a brother that's went to school. And like, it's so funny because it's like, oh, now he's in America. So in the village, like we were like, every airplane that comes by, we were like, that's where my brother's at. We were literally chasing it, and then we're like, America. Like it's literally like it's fun to look back at, but it's just kind of inspired by his story and like the sacrifice it takes for him to be sent off to Ethiopia. For him to pursue education. And let me remind you, the key term here is he was only 14. So now he's leaving his mom, his dad, and his entire family behind. Wow. So I think that a lot of our parents or older people that did make the sacrifice for us to be here today, they don't really talk about it. I never hear him talk about his experience. So this is purely creative. But my mom, she was sharing like the last day when he was being sent off, when he was being sent to Ethiopia for school. My dad was the one that was accompanying him on the journey to Ethiopia at the time. And then she just shared a little bit like how hard that was for her. And I was actually driving to the mom. She's a great storyteller, but I was driving, I was just bawling, like, because I was like, now as a mother, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can make the same sacrifice. Like, my son is going where, you know? And this is years ago when it was not normal for you to just
Yeah,
send your child off to a foreign land, you know?
yeah.
So that, and then she sang like a verse that's in Noor. It's like a Noor song. It's also in the book here. And then she was singing that verse, and I just cried. I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna have to write about this. That's literally what inspired the whole story." So then it just kind of took off years later. I think this is years later when I was like, okay, maybe I should write about this particular story because it's so relatable and
Mhm.
so much sacrifice has happened and all the things we have to deal with in terms of civil war, like, you know, the unrest that we go through, you know. So that's really what inspired Simon Sendoff. And I just kind of incorporate my dad's story as well because he sacrificed his life because there was like conflict happening where
Mhm.
he actually faced danger, you know. So all that is in the book, but I probably rant for too long, so I'll give it
Oh,
back
this
to
is really
you.
good. I'm actually amazed by the story because, you know, this is a story millions of people around the world that can relate to. Like, not only people that are from South Sudan, but anyone that who's like in a war-torn country, they are kind of sacrificing on sending their children away for safety or for, like, you know, a better life and things like that. And I feel like your book can actually resonate with so many refugee individuals and so many people that like myself who came here, but my parents had to leave the country and things like that. I feel like my parent generations, as well as, like, you know, your brother, is story in itself. It's gonna inspire so many individuals, and they can also relate to it. And it's a powerful book. I just read the title and just a little bit description of it, and I'm like, wow, this is a story I wanted to have here into the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you. I hope you get your copy soon and then you can read it and then we can talk more about it. So, but yes, yes. And also like there's, you know, in this world, we do encounter people that are immigrants or like came into like either in Canada or in United States as refugees, you know. So it's good to be aware of like their background and what kind of sacrifices that were made, you know,
Yeah,
like some of my favorite writers are like people from Afghanistan, from Nigeria, you know, like just very relatable, you know?
yeah,
So it's good to be informed about everyone you encounter on a daily basis. And it's also like talks about like sending even your kid to kindergarten or to
yeah,
grade, you know, like how challenging that is,
yeah.
even though you see them in the evening, you know? So it's very relatable.
That that is for sure. So I want to also bounce back to, you know, your photography business apart from, because I wanted to be able to kind of know like how the photography came about with your also like being an author. So let's go and kind of as a business owner, like you owning a photography company, can you tell us more about it and how did you actually get it started to doing that? Were you
Absolutely.
like photo
Yeah.
capturing?
So sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, no worries. I said, were you always into photo capturing?
Yeah, no, I love capturing. So I actually majored in communication when I was in college. I went to UNO, University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Yeah.
So I majored in communication and I took a photography class. But before then, I always loved photos, but I want to be in front of the camera. Not
Yeah.
behind the camera. So I think that actually like discouraged me a little bit to start photography right away. But after taking the course at UNO, I was like, okay, maybe I can do some more tricks with this.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just started like volunteering among our community, the South Sudanese community, particularly the Nuer people in the Midwest. So I started like, you know, like showing up to events, they started asking me, then they started paying me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get serious with this, you know. But overall, I really, really do like capturing moments. I love doing videos. Now I do videos and photos at the same time,
Yeah.
surprisingly. I don't know how I manage it, but I do. So I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Mal Media.
Mhm.
You can check out my work there, but I also just you might see my photos circulating on Facebook because
Mhm.
Sudanese people like their photos being posted on Facebook. So that's how they prefer it. So they go crazy about sharing it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, I just love storytelling. And I feel like in this season of my life, I'm able to still do storytelling through photography, through videos, and then most recently I did that Simon Sendoff. I spent some time and wrote that book. So the storytelling world is the media world is where I want to be. So hopefully I will get even more creative than that in the near future and expand my horizon. But I it's just passion really. Because it's really just started with volunteering and then putting my all in it and then making it happen.
That's amazing. So I know it's like you juggling both hats and so many other hats that you are. So when was it like the pivotal moment that you realized, okay, you know what, I can pursue both the photography as well as also being an author? Like, what was that shift like, or the realization of it?
Yeah, I feel like photography is just more like a hobby. I never see it as like my destination or I want to be like, I mean, if I am hired by like a big corporate company, I would definitely invest my time in it and my energy in it more. But I feel like it's just a hobby that I do enjoy, and then I tend to get paid for it. So it just kind of happens. But in a way, it still encouraged me because my background a little bit too. I did HR work in the past, especially. So I was in HR. That doesn't feel like a storytelling. It just feels like work, But with photography, it's just a little bit different because I actually like editing. I like taking pictures. I like presenting my work, So it still kind of is in the media world, but the end goal really would be to be a director, to actually be behind the camera or to do just a tiny bit of acting, That's like the end goal for me. That's where I'm like, yep, I have arrived in my career, But right now I feel like I'm taking some steps that are like in a similar path, which is like photography or videography or writing a book. And maybe I'll work on another project soon that's including writing, but hopefully I get discovered or I continue to do my work out there and then it just get better and better. And then people will be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's hire her or something, or my media take off and all that good stuff. So
that's amazing.
that's the hope.
That's really great. So being an entrepreneur and also like an artist, because I feel like, photography is an art form in itself. So how do you balance the business side of running? Like, let's say if somebody were to call you, oh, I have a wedding or I have a whatever to come for you to come and kind of like book the session with them versus somebody might ask you like, hey, I'm also a blogger or a business owner. I want content creators. I want somebody to write for me. Do you also offer those services or you just strictly focus on writing books for now?
I'm not really restricted to just doing one. In the past, I haven't done any content creating things except for my content that I put out.
Yeah.
Not so much of capturing others, but of what I would want to talk about. Like I did few content that that were timely or that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But that was just for me. So I haven't gone to the point where people are seeking out oh yeah, come and do a content for me, It's mainly come and do a welcoming party, come and do a bridal shower, come and do a wedding, so it's more eventful or hey, I need headshots, can you provide those? In the past I even provided services for athletics, where I did a team that was playing soccer or football. Yeah. The world knows it as football. It should be, but Americans like to make things confusing because there's also American football. So just had to be mindful of that. Yeah. So if the opportunity does present itself where someone is reaching out to me about, hey, I have this going on and I want some content created for it. Oh yeah, I would definitely be willing to do it, but I haven't done it so much in the past. It's just been kind of event photography and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. And I wanted to also know more about, like, for example, being an author, obviously there's a lot of creative process that you went through in order to make this book a successful, to finally actually have a hard copy in your hand. What was that journey like to, like, balance the challenges that kind of came in, or did you encounter any challenges that kind of set you back and then you're like, no, I can figure it out, and then actually releasing the book after? What was that? Because there's a lot of young people that might look at you, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I actually want to be an author too. I want to write a story. So what challenges did you face and how were you able to overcome it?
Yeah, I feel like it's been smooth, but only because like this story in the back of the book was actually taken like over 2 years ago because I had the picture of this. So this guy in the middle that's holding the young boy hand is my brother who inspired the story.
Oh,
And this is his son who was the same age as him.
wow.
That I'm writing the stories about. So
Yeah.
because I had a picture of how I want the book to look,
Mhm.
he's actually in South Sudan, so he's not here in the US with us all the time. So I was like, we're taking the photo. This was taken actually New Year Day after church. I was like, you're coming with me. We're gonna go get the photo taken immediately. And that's my sister, and she just
Yeah.
playing the role of my mom.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a success because I'm a photographer. I kind of had the vision for it, and then I did that, so it kind of made it smooth. And then the most important thing that I did was to find a good editor.
Yeah.
Uh, the book is actually would be maybe 20 pages long
Yeah.
or 11 pages, 20 pages maximum, because
Yeah.
I had part one, which was just about Simon Sendoff. But
Yeah.
she really stretched me and inspired me to be more creative, more imaginative, with the story where it's like 100 pages now.
Mhm.
So I had to pause a lot.
Mhm.
And she's like, this is a really good story, but it's so thin. We can't publish this. You have to write more. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay, I can write more. So that took time. Then I have my own setback because I'm a mom and my kids are really young. I have like a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So, I also have to attend to those youngsters, and I'm married, so I have to attend to that too as well. The struggle is real for young family and wanting to be in the creative world. But yeah, but I think the key, like some of the challenges would be like, okay, the book is too short. We can't publish it. So
Yeah.
I have to be creative with it, And then she did a good job finding what made this successful. I think the editor had a lot to do with it
Yeah.
because she was able to help. Like I took the photo, this is my work, but she found the person to design it because she has experience, and then she did a good job editing it. So I feel like that made my work a little bit easier or fruitful because she also knows what she was doing, and she knows the right question to ask, or she kept my work authentic to itself, so that's I feel like to somewhat. And then I have to work on her schedule too, right? Like it was delayed many times, not so much because I didn't do my part, but because she was also going through some things. And then I have to be patient with her, because I know she's good at what she does. So
Yeah.
a lot of understanding had to go through between us, and then finally it's out. And I actually chose to publish it July 9th.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was actually going to talk about that. I'm like, you selected a very special day, which is like the celebration of independence of South Sudan, and releasing it on that day is very massive. It's also very rewarding to your brother's story too. Like finding the freedom, the pursuit, and we have also been independent for the last 13 years, and then you releasing it on July 9, I feel like that in itself is very important moment and celebration of your life and success of your book as well as an author.
Absolutely. Yes. So July 9th actually is mentioned here
Yeah.
several times. So you have to read the book to know the content of why July 9th was the date I even chose to publish it for. So yes. Yes.
Speaking of
Thank you.
getting that book, so where can we get the book?
Yes, so the book is available on Amazon. So you can go on Amazon. You can order a hard copy, like what I have here, or you can. It's also available on Kindle, so you can just download it and pay for it, then read it on Kindle on Amazon as well. So yes, it is available on those two platforms. I hope to work on like an audio because I love audiobooks. I
Mm.
hope to work on the audio part of it in the future, but we're not there yet. So right now it's available on Amazon.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, so for those who would love to have a copy of the book, I'll make sure to insert the link in the description below, as well as in our website article later on. So you guys can also purchase a copy of the book, and I'll make sure to also get my own copy as well. And yeah, and
Thank
maybe
you.
like if some people that are within a state that wanted to get your autograph from the book, they can also kind of, reach out to you as well.
Absolutely. I do have copies here. So I can personally send it to you if you want it to be signed. And I will be doing a book signing hopefully in November in Omaha, Nebraska, if you are in the area.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
More details are coming soon.
We look forward to that for sure. So I wanted to also kind of get back to, just like as an entrepreneur or as a mom or even as an author, what impact or message are you hoping to fulfill to your audience when you're creating all of this story? What messages are you trying to like, provide to them? Because I know it's a struggle being a mom, it's a struggle being a creative, but now that you have actually successfully done it, so what that message look like?
Yeah, thank you. So I really love storytelling and I want us to be able to tell our own stories. Like, I don't think we need to wait for someone like an anthropologist to come and tell the story of who South Sudanese are. Like, South Sudanese themselves can tell their own story, you know? That's what inspired Simon Senau. That's what inspired my own work, you know? Like, I just want our stories, like both good and bad, to be told by us, by our lenses, by our perspective, you know? So that's like my number one goal. And that's why I'm gonna continue to be in the storytelling world, you know? So that's one. And also, like, I'm the type that will fight for their dreams no matter what the obstacles are.
Yeah.
So so it's like, okay, cool. Give me obstacles. Okay, I will. I know it's just a matter of times, you know, like I want to pursue my dreams. I want to fight for them. And I feel like so much has been given, you know, where I can, you know, starting with the education. I receive an education, so then I can give back however I, you know, like however I see fit or however it will impact the community or the world in a positive light. So those two things, yeah, drive me. But yeah, I just really think it's important for us to tell our own stories, and it's important for you to fight for your dreams so you don't go on the grave for them. So
Amazing,
yeah.
amazing. I really love that. And I also feel like you have so much great wisdom that you also can share. So for those like young moms that are out there, they wanted to pursue their dream, whatever that venture is, like as an entrepreneur, whatever creativity that they have, what three messages do you have for them to follow their dream or for them to be inspired, to be like, you know what? If Nyamal can do it, I could do it too. Like what advice do you have for these young ladies?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I'm also like in the beginning of motherhood, right? But be patient with yourself is number one. Like I think that we see other people's success and we think that they just arrive overnight, but that's not the case, you know? Like be patient, be a present mom, number one, because I want to be a present mom, you know, like I'm gonna do everything I can to be there, but I also don't want to neglect what I want to accomplish in life.
Mhm.
So I know it's really hard to juggle both, but I think taking it one step at a time is wise, and eventually you will arrive to your destination. So that's one thing I can advise, you know, is to just not give up or don't, you know, just suck down until like, oh, I can only just be a mother. So everything paused. But I think that is good to contribute toward the dreams that you do have little by little,
Yeah.
not so much of taking all your attention on it, because then you won't be a present mom, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's one. And then hard work never fails. I know it's like you hear it everywhere. You just have to work hard. Sometimes it's just so impossible. I hear you. But it's one thing to just be like, we're just gonna watch TV all day at my house. And then with one thing like, okay, I'm gonna set up structure. Y'all are taking a nap at this time so I can do what I need done, you know? And that's the nap is good for the kids. Give them nap, like get a peace of mind, you know, take them outside, go let them run, you know. Let them run and then they're going to go to sleep right away because they're tired now, you know? So I think just structuring, putting things that like, you know, that will help your kids and that will also help you can go a long way. So as a mom, at least I can say. So yeah, if you're not a mom yet, do not rush. You got time. But those youngsters are so adorable though. So but yeah, take your time. It's okay. But yeah, those are some advice that I can give. I think that's only two. I don't know the third one I can give.
No, but these are a really powerful one. I feel like, you know, you have hit the harm, what's it called, the nail on it, and they'll be able to kind of like listen to somebody and be like, you know what, I can actually do this, find balance between raising children as well as like pursuing their dreams. And I feel like a lot of times it's like young moms, they tend to be like, oh, I'm a mom now, like, you know, I just want to focus all my energy in raising kids, putting my dreams on the back burner, you know, taking care of my husband. Then they forget about what they want to do in life until like 20 years down the line. They feel like, oh, I should have done this. But it's good to see somebody like you who is doing it both, even though like there might be challenges, but you still find balance to doing it. So that would also inspire so many people to be like, okay, I could do this too.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's inspiring for your kids to know that you have accomplished all this, you know, and also while you're being a present mom to them, you know. So I would want my kids to look up to me as well, even though I want them to do better because I expect them to do better. You're gonna have to do better, you know. But but I don't want to just be a hero only because I'm the mom, like because I have also contributed something positive to the society. So
Amazing.
yeah.
And for those who wanted to follow you online or kind of, you know, stay up to date with some of the amazing things that you're going to be doing in the future, where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. Recently, I started TikTok. I'm also on Facebook and YouTube. My channel is Small Media on YouTube. So you can find me there. You'll see a lot of dancing, a lot of music.
Yeah, I actually tapped into it today. I was like, wait, because I went into YouTube channel and then I found it was like mostly like wedding, culture, dance and
Yep.
things.
Yep, I think I talked only one time on that channel, so you might not see my face because I'm behind the camera. I did that work. I'm behind the camera, I promise you. But yeah, so you might see only one video there. But honestly, it is a plan for me to do more content, especially for the younger generation, maybe speaking in English, because
Yeah.
most of the songs are in Nuer, or when people are speaking, they speak in Nuer, you know, because most of my clients are Nuer people. But yeah, I might be incorporating more on the YouTube channel soon, but I am on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok in the most recent days. So you can see my face more there.
And I'll make sure to also include all her social media link and handles in the description below so you guys can also follow her, and make sure to also get the copy of the book Simon sends off, okay? So that way we can also discuss about it and also share the wisdom behind each and everything that she does. Thank you so much, Nyamal, for being here today. I feel like you have inspired a lot of people and your story was an incredible one, and continue to do the things that you do because there's a greater future ahead of you. And, you know, being as a young Sudanese lady myself and kind of seeing your work on Instagram, I tap in terms of, wait, she's an author. No, we got to have her on the show. That's why. And I'm really, really excited for you to finally kind of, you know, hear more about your book and hear more about your story. I feel like there's a lot of great inspiration that's going to come out of you just for our young Sudanese sisters that can look up to you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for providing this platform for us. It's so amazing and it's so effective. So continue to do the great work you are working on. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
yes, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play out